if you're 5 weeks pregnant, what that means is it's been 5 weeks. This is for you, Gage. It's been 5 weeks since you had your last period.
Mm-hmm. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Everything But the Cats, the podcast where we talk about every single thing. We talk about Isaiah and cooing and how babies do that and stuff. We talk about not all cats, but a cat specifically, the one that's in my room that you can't see right now, but occasionally shows up in the screen. And we'll talk about Ole Miss, maybe. Who knows? We'll talk about everything except for the cats. My name's Gage.
I'm DJ, and this is Isaiah.
I like the name Isaiah when you say hi. It's like, hi, Isaiah.
You can save a syllable.
Yeah, you can save a little
It's
bit
efficient.
of time. It is efficient. Well, first, DJ, what are we talking about today? And then I'll do that before we dive in thing.
Well, I just want to know that if you're both greeting him and you're not quite sure what you're going to say afterwards, you can say 2 syllables. Hi, Isaiah. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Today is not my birthday. My birthday is in 5 days. I'll turn 29. My mother's maiden name is anyways, by the time we watch this, my birthday will have been a little while ago, but this is my birthday episode, and Gage said, hey, what should we do for your birthday episode? And I said, let me get back to you tomorrow. And then like 2 days later, I said to Angela, I think we're recording my birthday episode soon. I still need to figure out what we're talking about. And she said, you could talk about childhood development based on what you remember and like what you know, like of baby development. I was like, bingo. So here we are. And I love this guy. I love talking about him. So that's what we're talking about today, childhood development. We'll also do a little bit of pregnancy stuff.
Okay.
So that's fun. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Now, before we really get into this topic, I do want to say a couple of things.
He's being raptured.
Oh no, he's being raptured. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, to all of you out there, I want to say Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. We are starting it off right by talking about childhood development and pregnancy. And we two here, being experts, are obviously the people you want to have talking to you about that going into the new year. And also, happy early/late birthday, DJ, to everybody out there who's listening. If you haven't already, go say happy birthday to him. Just say it. You could be listening to this 3 years from now in the middle of September. Say happy birthday to DJ. Just do it. Please. You could be doing this on his 41st birthday, which we will be celebrating together with a bunch of people we went to middle school with.
Few people we never met.
Wait, people are in that group that we've never met?
Not yet.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, duh. The passage of time and all that jazz.
Well, no. Yeah, that too. But also, like, it's going to be the Bible. There's that passage about how people only invite people to parties if they think that, like, they'll also be invited to a party. But, like, Christians, like, the people of God ought to invite everybody. Like, something along those lines. I'll Google it later. It's in there.
So this is just an open invitation then to your 41st birthday?
Yeah, be there. It's in 12 years. Only 12 years from a few days from now.
And a few days ago.
Yeah. Insane.
Time is a construct.
I've been trying to cut back on the like using words like insane or crazy or like, man, this is so psychopathic right now. Like those kind of things. But it's a work in progress. So if you're out there and you're insane, I'm sorry.
The graphics on this game are so sociopathic.
Yeah. I mean,
clinically
I feel like sometimes The graphics on this game, well, it all started when they were 3. Anyways, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to my birthday. I'm eating Christmas candy, too.
I am too.
This is my birthday. It's our birthday.
Oh, by the way, before we do dive into children and babies and pregnancy, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to be trying to do a book club on the podcast, where we'll be doing Until Unity by Francis Chan. If it's something that you guys like or are interested in, we would love for you to read along and go through it with us. I don't know what the format's going to look like yet. We'll figure that out as we go. But if it's something you guys like, maybe we'll do it more. Anyways.
Yeah.
Babies.
Babies.
That's yeah, let's get started.
That's kind of my like default pickup line. Like
babies.
Hey.
Wait, just a second.
Babies. You're good.
Babies.
Babies.
Babies. Babies.
Babies.
That reverb is something else.
It really is. So, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Let's get into it. 10 minutes in.
Yeah. Classic us. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to Google on your phone, on whatever. I don't care what you Google on. What, like, how big is my baby? Like, pregnancy. And one of them should be what to expect.
Oh, what to expect your pregnancy week by week?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. I Googled it.
Great.
Technically, I supplied it,
now,
but
that's fine. Now go in there and let me know when you found like week 1. Or not week 1. It'll start at like week 3, probably. The first few weeks, it's like your baby's too small.
There's a pregnancy app for free
through
What to Expect.
And you don't have to download the app.
Your baby's growth through this pregnancy app. Mind you, it is the
That's
number 1 pregnancy and baby app. And now I'm curious how many there are.
Well, you just listed off a bunch of them, like Baby List, Baby Center, what size is my baby.org. How big is my fetus?
How big is a baby supposed to be? Mine is the size of Texas?
Great. Anyways, my game plan was to just go through and like try to guess week by week what the new thing is, because the way that these work is for what to expect. It had a few different options where it'd be like your baby is the size of a piece of kale.
Oh.
And then if you have twins, like your twins are the size of 2 pieces of kale. A surprising number of them were like that. And then it's fun to just see both how like awkward the scale is, because sometimes it seems like it's based on weight and sometimes it seems like it's based on size. It's like your baby's the size of a piece of kale. Your baby's the size of a watermelon. Sometimes it's like, is it based on shape? I don't know. Your baby's the shape of a piece of kale.
So I'm on week 3 of pregnancy. It says baby super tiny. 37 weeks to go. Baby on board. The journey begins. 3 weeks pregnant is how many months? How big is my baby at 3 weeks? The answer. You ovulated this week.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, they start tracking pregnancy. Here's another fun fact while we're at it. They start tracking pregnancy. So if you're 5 weeks pregnant, what that means is it's been 5 weeks. This is for you, Gage. It's been 5 weeks since you had your last period.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there is some ovulation. When you first say that you're pregnant, you can put in the date and like your average period length, or like how often between them, and it'll tell you, like, hey, here's the day you conceived.
So are we going to go through all like 42 weeks of pregnancy?
Yeah, we'll be brief though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, week 3, tiny, super tiny.
Yeah, fresh. Week 3, mom and dad had sex.
Exactly.
Like
Week
what?
4, despite its extremely tiny size, no longer than a millimeter and no bigger than a poppy seed. And then it says in parentheses, think about that as you eat your morning bagel.
Oh yeah, these are the same notes as back in the day.
That's really funny.
There's some good ones in there. They also have like Disney ones, so that it's like he's the size of a piece of kale. Or you click over to the Disney, it's like he's the size of Thumbelina or whatever.
Ah, yes, the scientific metric of Thumbelina.
I want to be clear. The scientific metric of a piece of kale. Or like there's one that's like I can't remember which week it is, but it's like he's the size of a turnip with the stem still attached, or like with the leaves attached.
So, you know the joke on the internet about like Americans will use anything to measure except for the metric system? And
Yeah,
some of my favorite tweets are like a large boulder the size of a small boulder has fallen onto the road. Um,
that's
and,
funny.
like a meteorite the size of 2 Honda Civics.
Yeah, I'm just picturing it's What to Expect, but the British version. It's like your baby is the size of 0.00003 kilometers. Thanks,
Exactly.
Queen.
Week
Let's
5?
go ahead and jump ahead.
Oh,
Week 5? Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Week 5 is
baby's still super tiny.
well, hold
Um,
up. Oh, is there a fruit or a vegetable? Is there a thing or like a seed or something?
yeah, it says measuring about the size of an orange seed,
Okay. Okay. So from here on out, I'm gonna
and it
guess
has a
them.
tail.
Oh wow. Little freak.
Yeah, it says it looks not unlike a tadpole with rudimentary head and a tail. But don't worry, there's no frog in your future.
That's really good. Okay. Week
Gosh, this is
6, I'm
such a
gonna
fun
guess from
website.
here on out. It is. It is. It was a lot of fun, like being pregnant and then being able to show off to people. Or like our small group would be like, all right, what fruit is he this week? And it was a lot of fun being able to go through that. Week
Okay.
6, it was orange seed.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna guess that week 8 is blueberry, but I don't know anything in the world that exists between the size of an orange seed and the size of a blueberry. Raspberry. He's a raspberry.
How big is my baby at 6 weeks? When you're 6 weeks pregnant, your baby's crown to rump measurement, more on this below, is anywhere from a fifth to a quarter of an inch and growing, making it the size of a nail head or a sweet pea.
Well, heck.
7 weeks.
Nail larger than a nail head. Blueberry.
How big is my baby at 7 weeks? Your baby's approximately a quarter of an inch in length now, about the size of a blueberry. Sounds pretty
Let's
tiny still.
freaking go!
Consider this. This is kind of
I
cool,
think I
actually.
finished that.
Consider this for a little perspective. Your baby is 10,000 times bigger now than they were at conception a month ago. That's insane. Imagine
Oh
if
yeah,
we grew.
conception a month ago.
Imagine if we grew 10,000 times our weight, our size
Oh wait,
every month.
let me show you what that would look like. Give me just a moment. You guys have to be on YouTube for this one, so consider that an ad.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Hello, I'm a little orange seed or whatever. I'm a little spermy. I'm a blueberry. That's it.
Oh, that's getting clipped. 8 weeks. 8 weeks.
Okay, larger than blueberry or raspberry.
How big is my baby at 8 weeks? Your baby is growing at an amazing rate. How are they measuring up this week? At a length of about half to 3/4 of an inch right now, your little one has graduated from blueberry sized to raspberry sized.
Let's go.
Okay. 9 weeks.
What the heck is larger than a raspberry?
So many things.
like, there's literally nothing. Okay. Olive size.
At 9 weeks pregnant, your little one is now about an inch long, the size of a medium green olive. But no
Let's
martinis,
go.
please.
I don't have this pulled up. The last time I looked at any of these was like a year ago.
That's so cool, actually. Okay, 10 weeks. 10 weeks.
All right. What's bigger than an olive? Well, there was a medium-sized green olive, large green olive. There are some that are really dumb like that. You get into week like 36, 37, it's like, your baby's the size of a watermelon. Your baby's the size of a large watermelon. So I'm at the store trying to figure out which one. Also, let the record show, the baby that was born, nowhere near the size of a large watermelon. I guess he did come out a bit early.
I've seen
but
some
like
pretty big watermelons.
he was medium watermelon sized at most. Anyways, well, not large grape, ping pong ball.
Your baby's growth is fast and furious when you're 10 weeks pregnant. Nearly an
Vin Diesel. He's a Vin Diesel, family sized.
nearly 1.5 inches long and the size of a prune, but not nearly as shriveled, even with all the time spent in water.
And that's fine.
11 weeks.
11 weeks. Okay, bigger than a prune. And it's a fruit or vegetable. Prune. How big is a prune? Well, I've never seen a prune. I'm gonna guess that big. Again, you have to be on YouTube, and also my thumb is missing if I orient it the wrong way. This size. So bigger than that, I'm gonna say he is the size of just a big old slug.
So it doesn't actually give anything. It's a slightly more than 1.5 inches long now and weighing about 1/4 of an ounce. Your baby has been pretty busy growing this week.
What? All right, that's fine. Move on.
However, hair follicles have started to form. I can't relate. And now the tiny hands and feet have little tiny fingers and toes.
So it was a lot of fun. Like, you could see the size, but it was also a lot of fun to read that, like, okay, his hair follicles are growing. He has ears now, and stuff like that, and to just kind of keep up and keep along with it. But now I just watch him. So
yeah. Okay, 12 weeks.
Whatever I said last time, boom. I don't remember what I said last time.
I don't remember what you said last time either.
I'm gonna say he is the size of just a big old slug. Read it off. I don't know if I was right.
Yeah, listeners, you know. By now, your baby weighs a full 1/2 ounce with a crown to rump length of 2 to 2.25 inches, about the size of a lime.
Oh, we jumped.
Yeah, we jumped. We jumped from a prune to slightly bigger than a prune to a lime.
Tell you what, I'm gonna guess lemon for the next one.
And now the digestive system begins working.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Them. 13 weeks
My
pregnant.
baby.
You said you're going lemon?
I'll go lemon.
Okay. Besides being as large as a lemon now, that head is now about half the size
of a lemon.
Of the crown to rump length, which is about half the size of a lemon. That's one reason why your little one looks more like an alien from outer space at this point. By the time you give birth, the body will catch up, measuring 3/4 of the total size. But don't compare this fetus with the fetus next door. Starting in the next week or so, babies begin growing at different paces, some faster than others, some more slowly, though they all follow the same developmental path. And at this point,
count your lemons before they hatch.
And at this point, the baby's intestines and vocal cords are developing.
Hey.
14 weeks. Preggers.
Bigger than a lemon. Orange. We'll keep on the citrus train.
There'll
be a little while before grapefruit.
At 14 weeks, your baby is growing and developing rapidly, measuring between 3.5 inches and 4 inches long and weighing around 2 ounces, about the size of a navel orange.
Let's go.
Wait. Also, at this point, the baby is standing up straight and is starting to sprout hair. And Lanugo?
Sure.
It's a downy coating of hair over the baby for warmth called Lanugo. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, correct me in the comments below.
Tear us to shreds.
Yeah, tear us to shreds. 15 weeks pregnant.
Okay. Bigger than orange. This grapefruit is a pretty big jump. A turnip, including the leaves.
Curious why your body is probably finally starting to look pregnant? It's because at 15 weeks pregnant, your baby is quickly growing bigger each week. They're as long as 4 inches right now and weigh around 2.5 ounces. Need a better visual? Hold a pear in your hand. That's how big your
Huh.
little darling is. Now that you're done looking, eat that pear for a delicious, nutritious snack. Get ready for some major growth on your baby's and Belly's part in the weeks to come.
True.
Also, the baby is looking more like a baby.
The first ultrasound we got, we went to Choices here in Joplin because we needed to confirm the pregnancy before we could like actually make an appointment for the pregnancy. And it essentially they were able to show us like the yolk sac, and because he was like still mostly just an egg at that point, but his heart was beating. His heart had probably started beating like that day or like the day before. So got to hear that. That was really sweet and beautiful. Cried a little bit because the way I am. And then the next appointment was a few weeks later at Mercy, and we got to see him with a bit more shape, and he just looked like a little gummy bear in there, just gumming about.
16 weeks pregnant. Also, how have we been
Pregnant.
talking about pregnancy this long without referencing one of the best videos of all time?
So
Can you get
the
pregante?
the morning that we found out we were pregnant, I had been kind of pressuring Angela to take a pregnancy test for a little while, which we've had a few kind of scares along the way where essentially it's that same thing where I'm like, you should take a test, and she's like, I don't want to, because if you just never find out you're pregnant, then you're never pregnant, and problem solved. But anyways, you should take a test. I don't want to. And then she had finally decided to take a test. She takes a test. I'm still asleep. She comes and wakes me up. She's like, hey, DJ, look at this. And like, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's that it's like too close or what, but I can't see crap. Like, I can see nothing at all. My vision's super blurry. But obviously, she's holding something in front of my face, so I know what it says. So I'm super excited. And then I'm pretty sure we have like just a couple minutes of like, holy crap, holy cow, what is this? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. What? And then we just lay down in bed and watch that video. Like the day we found out, like 10 minutes later.
Can my girlfriend get pre-gat?
Does starch masks mean you were pregnant?
What was the one of my favorites is pregnant?
Uh-huh.
And it's the delivery. Like, yes, it's funny to read those out loud to yourself or in your head to yourself, but the delivery is top tier. Top tier. I'll include the video in the cards, which show up in the corner. Yeah, 16 weeks pregnant.
Grapefruit.
Your baby now weighs in at a whopping 3 to 4 ounces and is 4 to 5 inches. The backbone and tiny muscles on your baby's back are gaining strength so they can straighten out that head and neck even more. There is no size here. No comparison, I mean.
Well, stink.
But the eyes
Next
work.
one's grapefruit. Good for them.
And the skin is transparent.
Uh-huh.
And the baby is very nearly able to hear your voice.
Yours, cool. Gage.
Huh?
Your voice, Gage.
Yeah, my voice.
Yeah.
Once you're at the 16-week mark, your baby will start hearing this. Just repeatedly. Over and over, they'll hear my voice.
Your baby will come out of the womb and say, well, this is everything but the cat. I'm Gage. I'm DJ.
17 weeks. You said...
Okay, grapefruit.
You said grapefruit?
Yeah.
My, how your baby has grown. Your little one weighs about 5 or more ounces and is the size of your palm, or around 5 inches long. Body fat, babies that is beginning to form and will continue to accumulate throughout the end of your pregnancy. Join the club, baby. But
grapefruit is the next one.
At the top, it shows an onion.
An onion?
Yeah.
Man.
Is that an onion? Is that an onion
or
a
looks like
pomegranate?
An onion to me. I think that's an onion.
Yeah, that looks like an onion.
Wait, no, at the very top. At the very top. What did it say? Your baby is as large.
Your baby is as large as an onion.
Boom.
I've been skipping down to the part where it's like, how big is my baby?
That's really funny.
What was the one that I didn't read it? Because I did...
I don't know.
16 weeks. Your baby is as big as an avocado.
Gross.
It's an avocado. Thanks. Okay, so
Mhm.
let's go 18. 18 weeks pregnant.
Bigger than an onion. Grapefruit.
Cucumber.
Ooh.
At 5.5 inches long from crown to rump and 5 to 6.5 ounces in weight. About that. About the size of that boneless chicken breast you're making for dinner. Your baby may be large enough now, or any time in the next few weeks, for you to feel twisting, rolling, kicking, and punching in the womb. Oh, also, you were eating something earlier. Lots of noises over here, too. That I have right next to me as well, kind of.
Oh, here, let me get one out. We can eat them together.
Yeah, we can dink and sink across the web. Wait, is it the same one?
Yeah. I can't show you.
Hey, peppermint bark, Ghirardelli's.
Let's have to do this.
Yeah. So we'll dink it with
Dink.
the camera, I guess. Dink.
Oh, sorry, mine's still in the
Oh,
wrapper.
get it out. Come on.
No, I eat it like that. Whole.
I remember
That way I can. Nope.
I remember people like in middle school and grade school who would eat like certain candies with the wrapper on and then spit the wrapper out. I never interacted much with him. Dink.
Okay, mine was really old and it broke.
And sing.
It did not survive the dink. Okay, if we're at cucumber, let me guess the next one
Yeah, 19.
is
Number 19.
oh gosh, what's that even called? Cantaloupe.
You're jumping from cucumber to cantaloupe?
Because it's usually based on length.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's mango.
Okay.
Yeah, week 19 is mango, and it says 6 inches long this week and just over a half a pound in weight. Your baby has gone through a bit of a growth spurt, and the vernix has developed.
The what? Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a protective cheesy varnish.
Yeah. The good stuff.
It's the Latin word for varnish. It's vernix
That makes sense.
quesosa, which is Latin for varnish, and quesosa is for cheese.
Cheese.
So it's cheese varnish that now covers the baby's skin. It's greasy, white, and made up of the downy hair known as lanugo.
They're I can't remember if they're all born with that. Yeah, they all are. Sometimes if they're premature, they're born with some extra hair that they wouldn't normally have. And so Isaiah was born with some hair because he was about 4 weeks early.
Mm-hmm.
And so he looked like a little werewolf kid for a moment. Just like he had hair kind of coming down a bit extra onto his forehead was really all the difference was. And he was already hairy, pretty hairy kid. Like had good full thick hair. But anyways, the cheese stuff. I'm pretty sure they took him for a bath. It was like his second or third day out the womb. But for the first little while, probably second day, for the first little while, first 24 hours or so, you just got this little cheese covered kid that you've been given to love.
Okay.
And it's super easy, to be clear. But like it's a gross process for sure.
Most things worthwhile are in some way.
So true.
Yeah, I think part of heaven is going to be being covered in cheese.
So true.
So true.
Man.
20 weeks.
Cantaloupe.
Sweet potato.
Gross.
Yeah, you've got a heavy weight in your belly at 20 weeks pregnant. Well, in baby terms anyway. Your little champ weighs about 10 ounces and has a height, crown to rump, of about 6.5 inches. While your baby is definitely getting bigger, there's still plenty of growing room in there, which allows him to twist and turn. And this allows you to feel his acrobatics. Okay. 21.
Cantaloupe.
Large banana.
No heckin' way.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's obviously not talking about English cucumbers because those are like way bigger than a large banana.
We exclusively use English cucumbers in our household. And so the first time that I was looking through it and it was like, oh, what is he this week? Because we would check it week by week. We didn't want to get too far ahead because it was just fun to look and see every Friday. How old is he? Also, I've given you guys, I guess if I've never said his birthday, I've almost given you guys enough hints to figure out the exact conception date. No, I haven't. That's good. But anyways, we got to cucumber, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, what happened? And then I remember that there are smaller cucumbers in this world.
Yeah. And now the baby sleeps and taste buds start to develop.
Poor guy. Sure tastes like amniotic fluid in here.
Week 22.
There actually.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. There actually is there have been studies done, and you might say one in one of these later on, actually. But there are studies done to see if mom eats a lot of, I don't know, oranges during pregnancy, does baby come out not like immediately liking oranges, but when the time comes for food, do they have a preference towards oranges or whatever? And they found that usually they do. So then the idea, is that what mom eats impacts the flavor of the amniotic fluid. So that as the baby's like spending this time in the womb, like tasting things, they're tasting what the mom eats, and like developing a taste for it.
My mom must have eaten a lot of chocolate and chicken.
I mean, I bet a lot of moms do.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Week 18.
18? I thought we were 21.
22. 18 weeks to go.
Okay, cool. 22. Bigger than a large banana.
Mm-hmm.
Longer than a large banana.
Mm.
No, it's gotta be bigger. Turnip with the leaves on.
Papaya.
Papaya.
Yeah, it's as large as a papaya. And it says, guess what? Now that you're 22 weeks pregnant, your baby, who's about the size of a small doll, has finally broken the 1 pound mark. How heavy is that? Hold a 1 pound bag of sugar in your arms the next time you're in the grocery store and expect people to ask you while you're grinning from ear to ear. Is the bag 11 inches long? That's about the length your baby is, too.
I'm gonna go hold a bag of sugar in the store one of these days.
Just smiling.
Yeah. Grin from ear to ear. Expect people to ask. I won't answer.
Just be like, shh, the baby's asleep.
If they give me any trouble, I drop it and run.
Okay, 23 weeks pregnant.
What did I say last time that was wrong? Oh, turnip with the leaves on.
Carrot.
Cool.
Yeah, your baby's as big as a carrot at 23 weeks. Gosh, this scale is so weird because, like, my concept of, like,
isn't it?
What kind of carrot and, like, what kind of cucumber? What even is a papaya? Like, that's kind of what my head's doing.
Yeah.
So 24 weeks pregnant.
Yeah, no, it was always interesting to us, like, okay, I guess our baby shrunk this week. Cool,
Yeah.
great. Or I guess he's some random size that we can't fathom this week. Cool.
Well, if you use
okay,
Plato's
I'm gonna
theory
guess.
of forms, there is a perfect form of cucumber out there somewhere, and that is the size of Isaiah this week.
So true. I think I made that same joke at some point during the pregnancy. I'm gonna say a turnip with the leaves on.
Yeah, so week 24 is an ear of corn. And at this point, the baby's face is formed, and it has fetal hearing. Now, what is interesting, I misread that. I thought it said fatal hearing. I was like,
if it hears, it kills.
Or like, it only hears death. Week 20...
It's a turnip with the leaves on it.
Week 25 is an eggplant.
Oh, heck, I might have to abandon the turnip soon. That could have been one of the other ones.
Have you ever eaten an eggplant?
Not raw.
Same. Neither here. I had eggplant parmesan once, which is essentially lasagna, but you use eggplant instead of, like, the meat. Mm-hmm. I think it was either instead of the meat or instead of the pasta, but I'm pretty sure it was instead of the meat.
Yeah.
It was all right. Like, the first handful of bites was really good, and then the eggplant just kind of got overwhelming for me.
Gotcha.
But it was pretty good. Pretty good. And at 25 weeks, your baby is an eggplant. Oh, wait. What are the other qualities? The lungs are preparing to breathe, and the nose now works.
Great.
26.
Turnip. Leaves
Spaghetti
on.
squash.
Ah, heck.
It'll be there eventually. And
It
at this
will. It
point,
has
the
to.
baby's eyes open, and brainwave activity kicks in.
Nice.
Yeah. 27 weeks.
Turnip leaves on it.
Cabbage.
Oh, heck.
And now
See,
you have a Cabbage Patch
Sorry.
Kid in you.
I mean, we've all eaten one. So that's another one where, like, we go from spaghetti squash, which I assume is like, or like eggplant even, which I assume is like yay big.
Yeah.
To cabbage, which I assume is like
But
yay
rounder.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like bigger area, but smaller length.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at this
Baby
point,
shrunk.
again, at this point, the baby recognizes individual voices and can hiccup.
Nice. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we would notice hiccups.
Oh, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. So you sense them like all of a sudden, whoever's belly, not always Angela's. Like between me and Angela, always Angela. But like you just essentially would see the belly just like start to shake, like kind of rhythmically.
That's
It's very
hiccuping. Okay.
steady. Yeah.
28 weeks.
It's a turnip with the leaves on.
It's a head of lettuce.
Ah,
Get it? Like,
getting upset.
and this could just be me being uncultured. I don't really know the difference between a head of lettuce and a cabbage.
One's slightly bigger, apparently.
Apparently. Also at this point, the baby is getting into position.
Yeah.
And can dream.
You.
That's cool. What do babies even dream about? Like,
Yeah.
at
Yeah. We were
28
wondering that
weeks,
too.
what are you dreaming about?
Or even like you've been freshly born. Even
Yeah.
like, what do you dream about? Because he slept. Like he was born at 1:50 a.m. and then he slept for like. I mean, he was awake for a while, but he slept that night. And like, what if he's dreaming? Like, what is it? I mean, I can imagine it being a pretty traumatic dream, actually.
It's like there was nothing but darkness, and suddenly everything. Well, you know, the age-old question, do androids dream of electric sheep? Could be translated to, do fetuses dream of electric amniotic fluid?
So true.
So true. 29 weeks.
It's a turnip with the skin on.
It's as big as a head of cauliflower. Did you say
See
a
that one?
turnip
I'm
with
like,
its skin on?
I did say that. I'm like, how big is a head of cauliflower? And how's that not bigger?
Cauliflower head's about this big.
Dang. All right, we might be past the turnip now.
About this big. Yay big.
Oh, there's big. It's about as big as that fish I caught that one time. You remember? Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, the baby is getting more fat and fewer wrinkles.
Guilty.
30 weeks.
A turnip with the skin on.
No, it's a big beet
Dang it.
with leaves.
Oh, okay. I knew it was something shaped like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. It's a beet with leaves. So weird. The brain's getting bigger at this point, and the Lanigo, again, correct me in the comments, is disappearing. And bone marrow is now making red blood cells. 31 weeks.
A radish with skin on.
It's a coconut.
Okay.
So one time, I was walking in the store with one of my friends, and we were looking for like coconut juice, I think, or coconut.
Why?
I don't know.
Love yourself, Gage.
We were looking for something that was coconut related, and I couldn't get the word out for some reason, they were like, "What are we forgetting?" And I was like, "Coconut." But the way that I said it, it just like really elongated the coconut.
Oh,
And they
that's
were
funny.
just like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yep." And that's when I found out my favorite brand of rice is Knorr. And I was like, "Or Knorr, Cleor." Yes. But yeah,
Oh,
coconut at 31 weeks. And the baby is developing five senses at this point and is sleeping
ooh,
more.
good for them.
Yeah, what else do they do?
Yeah.
Duh, duh, duh.
Well, I mean, they move. Yeah,
Yeah, they
like
use
they.
they use the okay, so they're in the uterus, right?
Yes.
So they use the
I listen. Comments. If you're wrong, if we're wrong, I'm a father. Like, if I'm wrong, I'm really sorry. I'm almost certain it's got to be the uterus. Yeah, because ovary is where the eggs are, and then they go out of there into the uterus. Yes.
Okay. So it just using the uterine wall as a punching bag. Like that's all I was
No,
getting at.
absolutely,
Like, yeah.
absolutely. He. So there are videos on like Facebook or wherever. Whenever you have a kid, you Facebook learns pretty quickly, and then it shows you only stuff related to having a kid. But there are videos of like a mom's tummy, and you just see like a rhythmic, like punching, kicking, whatever, just like a
It's
piece
like
like jumping out of it.
duh.
Exactly like that. Yeah, this kid's gonna be awesome.
Oh, this kid's gonna
Uh,
do
but then,
something.
but then when you like, it's a video of the kid after they've been born, and then they're just there like rhythmically like kicking their leg, and
Mm.
so it's like for the last 2 months or whatever, this is what this kid was doing. He's just rhythmically kicking his leg, and he's still doing it now because it's like this thing that he does.
I've been rewatching Ted Lasso, and there's a scene in season 3 where one of the characters wants to learn drums, and then Ted's like, "Did you know that Dave Grohl learned to play the drums using pillows, using pillows?" And that just makes me think, like, some people learn to play the drums using their mom's insides.
So true. That's funny. How? What do you think Dave Grohl used to learn to cheat on his wife?
That was just naturally in him, I think. I don't know, because it's
He's gonna
happened so
figure it
many
out.
times.
Oof.
Okay, not so many. It's happened at least twice where there has been a child that came from him cheating on his wife, which isn't
So
a large number, but it's a large number for this specific thing.
yeah, I feel like
I'd say it's too large.
yeah,
32 weeks.
it was a coconut. We're gonna say a small watermelon.
No. Last week, yeah, it was a coconut. Okay. No, it's a bunch of celery.
How freaking much celery? Like
A bunch.
yeah, it's a bunch of pebbles too. Like
It's a bunch of apples too.
yeah.
What is this? Celery for ants. And at this point, the baby is prepping for birth and is in the fetal position.
Yeah, you know what that means?
Head down or breech.
Yeah, in fetal position.
In the fetal position, yeah.
All fetused up.
I get in that position at least once a year. 33 weeks.
Okay, that was celery.
Mhm.
Small. No. Uh, we'll go cantaloupe now.
Butternut squash.
And butternut
Okay,
squash.
but last time I checked, like spaghetti squash was bigger than butternut squash.
Check again.
I I trust what to expect about as much as I trust my own judgment on fruits and vegetables, which isn't much.
Same. Oh well.
And then it's I keep reading fetal is fatal. So it's like the baby can differentiate between night and day at this point, and the fetal immune system is developing. When I read it, I was like, the fatal immune system
It's gonna
is
get you.
developing. It's gonna get you. 34.
That's a small watermelon. It's a cantaloupe. Cantaloupe. Cantaloupe.
It's a pineapple.
Heck.
You know what
With the leaves or
pineapple?
without?
It just says as big as a pineapple under
Great.
the sea. You know what? This reminds me. We just left the Christmas season. Have you seen How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one?
Yes, and we actually watched it in Iowa.
Okay, so
I was not focused, but yes.
Are you familiar with the scene where Cindy Lou Who is talking to the two women about who raised the Grinch, about how they got him?
Yes, but it's been a while since I actually watched that scene.
So in the scene, the Grinch, like all babies, they're in like a basket with an umbrella that fly, or all Who's, they're in a basket
Yeah,
with an umbrella that flies down into Whoville and lands
yeah,
at the house of, the parents. And
yeah.
his gets kind of knocked out of the way and lands in a tree outside of these women's house. And in the house, you see a big group of people having a party, and they're all putting their keys in a fishbowl.
Wild.
It's one of those swinger parties. But yeah, the fingernails and toenails start to grow on this little pineapple. Oh, and the reason I went from pineapple to that is, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The correlation.
35 weeks pregnant.
Cantaloupe.
Her baby's as big as a bunch of Swiss chard.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I remember
Chard?
that one.
Chard?
Yeah.
Is it chard or chard?
Char?
It's C H
I'm
A
gonna
R
say
D.
charred.
Chard. French. Swiss chard. Fetal weight gain. Again, I thought it said fatal. Fatal weight gain. It's
Been
America.
there.
And the baby's skull remains soft. I don't know why it felt the need to say that. It's like, hey, the baby's skull has been soft, still soft.
Now it's that's 35 weeks.
Yeah, 35.
So the next week is like the exact day plus a day that Isaiah was born,
Okay,
which means
so
we
go ahead.
were 1 week shy of just like little gummy bear skull.
So 36 weeks pregnant. Your baby, how big?
About the size of one Isaiah Blethen.
And how big was one Isaiah Blethen?
Real tiny. Let's see. What
I will
food?
say
Watermelon. Small watermelon.
a bunch of kale.
Ah. He weighed way more than a bunch of kale.
Yeah, that's fair. About 6 pounds, actually, at that point, according to this.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate. He was about 5.5. Bit
That's
over
about
five
what
and
I
a half.
was, I think. And at this point, the digestion still needs to work a little bit more. I don't understand all these things where it's like, at this point, this is still not done. Instead of
I
saying
mean,
what
I
is
think
done.
well, at this point, you're getting into like much more of the preemie births. And
Yeah,
so I'm curious how much of it is just like, hey, if your baby shows up tomorrow,
this
here's
is.
what you should expect him to need.
Yeah, okay. Uh,
If your baby shows up tomorrow, don't squish his skull.
uh, I feel like whether it's tomorrow or 7 more weeks, don't squish the skull.
Oh, but you'll be tempted. Like it's so cute, little cute.
That's actually like a thing. The desire to squish, drop, or throw cute things is actually like a psychological thing. Anywho, 37 weeks.
Watermelon, small.
Canary melon.
What the heck is that?
I don't even know what a canary melon is. At this point, the baby is stretching and moving and practicing for birth. And the head, huge. Just quoting the article here. 38 weeks pregnant.
Watermelon, so help me. Cantaloupe, so help me. One of
Mini
those things.
watermelon. It's a mini
Let's
watermelon.
go.
Also at 30 weeks pregnant, the baby is preparing for birth. Still getting prepped.
Right.
In Isaiah's case, prepped for post birth.
Yeah.
Breathing air, being
No.
alive.
So when you have a preterm kiddo, they spend the first little while kind of pretty much living life as if they were in the womb. And it's not so like some NICU stays are very much like it, but like all that I mean is that they sleep a lot more. So he slept a lot more that first month than he did the second month. And so for the first month of his life, it's irregular. So it's not like we're getting good sleep. But first month of his life, he's sleeping like 20 hours a day or something like that. And we're still getting pretty irregular sleep because he's waking up during the middle of the night at points. And we're like, man, this is terrible. This stinks. And like, it's great, right? But like, the sleep is hard. And we had it so much easier back then because he was sleeping so much. And like, I could just hang out and play video games and stuff. And now I cannot. It's different, man.
Yeah. 39 weeks.
Of watermelon. No, cantaloupe.
It's a jackfruit.
Okay.
You ever seen
That's
a
the spicy
jackfruit?
cantaloupe. No. Oh, yeah, they're the spiky ones. Right.
Is that a
Or maybe I'm
jackfruit?
picturing durian.
I
I'm
think you're
picturing durian,
picturing
probably.
durian. They also don't have tears quite yet, and the skin is white. I never got past
Oh,
39 weeks. I did lose the hair though. 40 weeks
so true.
pregnant.
Watermelon. Large watermelon, maybe? Or probably just watermelon.
Small
Cantaloupe?
pumpkin.
Oh, yeah. Another one of these will be a large pumpkin. Because it goes past 40.
It just
Because some
says
kids are born even up to like... Sorry.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because some kids are born up to like 42 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. It says the end of pregnancy.
Yeah.
Meeting your baby. 41 weeks. Pregnant.
Large watermelon.
Pumpkin. 42 weeks.
Large watermelon.
Pignate. Watermelon.
Let's go. So
And oh, it just says newborn and 1 week old baby. So
yeah.
Oh.
After 42, it's like there's like a thing you can look at because I was pretty much as soon as we were pregnant, as soon as you find out you're pregnant, there's like this constant fear of like miscarriage, because it's super common, and I honestly I wouldn't be super surprised if there've been a couple times that like we wondered if we were pregnant, took the test, found out we weren't, and like we had like actually miscarried during those or things like that. Like it's very common. But as soon as you know you're pregnant, there's this fear that exists. And so I was looking at one point like pretty regularly for just like what, if we're past this week, then surely we're like safe by now and stuff like that. And there is some truth to that idea where once you get past like week 13, like out of the first trimester, the number drops down pretty significantly. But it was like risk of miscarriage by week, and it drops down, by like week 20, it's like 5% of miscarriages, and miscarriages are already like they're common, but they're not like super common. And then the number goes up like to like at like 45 weeks, like you've miscarried. Like if your kid hasn't come out at like 45 weeks, like something has gone wrong.
Oh,
There's that, I guess.
pleasant.
Yeah. They if you keep your kid in there for longer though, they do come out like more aware of the world around them. So like they keep growing in there. Not like more aware than like a 2-week old baby probably. But like
you
their
have
brain keeps developing.
you just have a 43-week pregnancy. You're just 3 weeks over. The baby comes out like, see, you're all actually in a cave, and you're watching shadows dancing on the wall. But what you must do is leave the cave.
Or you just left the cave. Like,
Oh, that was
yeah.
me.
Whoops. Man. So
how'd you get
yeah, so those
shadow
are the weeks of
puppets in there?
pregnancy. Well, one of the things, like, I can't remember if it was What to Expect or where, but something suggested taking a flashlight and just like putting it up against Angela's tummy or mom's tummy. Because once your baby has eyes, then like if you put the flashlight on mom's tummy, like sometimes they'll like freak out, like what the heck?
So it's like, hey, start the trauma early.
Yeah. And we tried a few times and it didn't work. He's very chill, and we knew that while he was like in the womb, because they were trying to get him to move around once for an ultrasound, and he was hunkered down, like he was not moving. They'd like jab at him and he stayed exactly in position. Very chill dude. Not a lot of cares.
He is very chill as far as babies go. Uh, I will also say his parents are two of the most chill people I think I've ever met. So I think that helps.
Genetic.
Like genetically, he's just
There. It's fine.
predisposed to chillness.
Yeah. But like nowadays we'll give him like stuff that usually gets a big reaction. Like I might have given him some pickle juice the other day, like just a little bit just to try. Maybe not. I can't remember what it was. It was something with a strong flavor,
Mm-hmm.
and he like tried it, and then no big reaction. Just like okay, yeah, sure, cool. I gave him lemon at one point, and he's like, okay, yeah, sure, cool.
Just actually starts talking like, okay, cool, yeah,
Fine. I get why you thought this would be funny, Dad.
so be it.
Yeah. So that's pregnancy. We should probably not spend too much more on here because that'll be time for his bottle soon. But I am curious what questions you had about childhood development.
Give me the lemon.
That's pretty good. I like that.
So I don't have a ton of questions. Did you say about child development?
Or baby development.
Or
Or
baby
pregnancy even. I don't care.
At what point do they stop looking like a potato?
Okay, so when they're born, a lot of times they're born jaundiced.
Ah, I was.
Yeah, Isaiah was. I don't know about me. I'm sure I was. Because, I mean, jaundice, I'm pretty sure it's fixed by exposure, like vitamin D. And, you know who didn't get a lot of sun exposure while she was pregnant? Or, like, kind of, not ever, but, like, not ever. It's Angela. Anyways, he's born jaundice. And when we picture jaundice, we picture yellow. Because that's how people, like, how they express being jaundiced as adults.
Yeah.
Fingernails become yellow, skin becomes kind of yellow. But when you're just a little guy, you become orange. And so he came out looking like he had the sickest tan. Looked really cool. And then we learned pretty quick, like, no, that's not good. You need to fix it. And so he fixed it. And now he's so pale. Like if you guys watch the footage, like I'm pretty pale too, but he's such a pale baby. I think that's one of the big things. And then I would guess that it was it's tricky because he's behind, like he's kind of behind a month because he was born a month early. So he, like his age, subtract a month from whatever I say, and that is the age that other babies might start looking more like a little human instead of a little potato. I would say probably about the 4-month mark is when a lot of people will think of their babies being less potato, because at about the 4-month mark, your baby is going to start like noticing the world around them. So they've probably already made some eye contact with you before then, but around 4 months, they're going to start like smiling at stuff just a little, just enough to get your hopes up that they're going to really start, and they don't quite yet. And they won't like necessarily start laughing at stuff, but that's coming up soon. And they'll start just like watching stuff and like looking around more and just trying to figure out the world around them a bit more. And I think that when you see, like, you just see something change in them, and it's like, okay, this isn't like this used to be. Like it was this bag of sugar that I desperately needed to protect. But now it's like it's a bag of sugar with its own thoughts, and like that's trying to process the world around it. So,
I'm so curious how like the thoughts of infants works, because like they don't have language to process their thoughts, and there's a lot of other things psychologically, developmentally, that they just don't have yet. However, they still think and process through things, and so like I remember when I was probably 4 or 5, somewhere in there, my mom made the comment that my dad was going to have a cow when he got home. And so I was at the age where I couldn't quite process metaphors and idioms and things like that,
Yeah.
figurative language. And so what I did is I was like, okay, so either dad's going to walk in holding a cow, he's going to walk in and spit up a cow, he's going to walk in and lay an egg that a cow is going to come out of, or we're just going to have a cow now.
Yeah.
And like that's just what how I process things at that age. So like I wish, to a degree, I think it'd be really cool to like understand the thoughts of an infant,
Yeah.
you know? Like I just think that would be really
Yeah.
nifty. And it would
Now,
be so cool for the world of psychology and for the world of child development and education and stuff like that, just to understand on more than an MRI level, you know, or CAT
yeah.
scan
No, it
level.
would be cool. I do want to zoom in on the cow for just a moment. I imagine if your mom says your dad's gonna have a cow when he gets home, that like she's trying to discipline you.
Yes.
Like you're acting up. She's using your dad to threaten you. Classic parent move. Um, so your mom's like, "Listen, your dad's gonna get you," and you're like, "He's gonna lay an egg. This is gonna be sick."
Well, and see, the thing about
That's great.
that is I think it was for both of us,
Yeah,
because normally the house was a mess, not because of me. I don't make messes.
sure.
Of course, I
Or-
make messes. If you've been in any of the rooms I've lived in, I make messes. But uh, I was 4 or 5. It wasn't entirely my fault. I think one time I definitely did throw a bunch of like baby powder or flour, I don't remember which one, into a fan.
They taste the same.
I threw a bunch of that into a fan because I thought it was cool. I was like pretending to be a ninja with smoke screen and stuff. And so the house was
Love
just
that.
full of
Yeah,
flour or baby powder or whatever. And when my mom walked, it was with my cousin. And when my mom walked in, she freaked out. She was like, "You guys are going to start a fire." Or she thought we did start a fire and it was smoke because it looked like smoke.
I see.
And we were
Yeah,
like, "No, we're just ninjas." Like,
it's also a fire hazard. Like,
oh yeah, if someone lit a match, the place would be gone. Um,
yeah,
you never went to the house like when we lived there because I didn't know you, but you helped me do some painting and stuff out there. You remember the Hill House?
I do remember.
Yeah, that was the
I got bit
one.
by a spider.
You did? I don't remember you getting bit by a
Yeah, it was
spider.
nothing happened. It was super chill. It like I watched it kind of come down on a web, land on my hand, and before like I think my other hand was occupied, so I couldn't get it off me. I watched it bite me, and then just like go off to its other spiderly business, and then nothing ever came of it.
Okay.
Like I was fine. It was fine. It just came to my hand, bit me, and peaced out.
Deuces.
Yeah, but I had a mark for a couple days, so I know it bit me.
Yeah. More you know, I think. That's a proper response here.
Sure.
Anyways, I yeah, no, the only question I came up with when you told me this would be our topic was when do they stop looking like potatoes?
Yeah. No, it
Uh,
is. It's very subtle.
but this has been fun.
What I will say is, if you're listening to this and you have just freshly had a kid, you're going to hear about how things are 4 months away, or how they'll start laughing at 6 months or whatever, and you're going to think, "Holy crap, that is forever away." That is literally the longest amount of time I can imagine in my brain right now. What? I just want you to know, it gets great. I was gonna do a kind of a step by step like each month of having a baby, and I was gonna begin each one with like first month, this is the cutest child you've ever seen in your life. They couldn't possibly get any cuter, and then some details. Month 2, this is the cutest child you've ever seen in your life. They couldn't possibly get any cuter, and it's incredible how along the way you just learn like one, how to be a parent. You figure it out, which is what people have been doing for thousands of years, is by the grace of God and like the instincts that He gave us, learning how to be like learning on the job how to be a parent. you got this. You're capable. You can do it. And second, learning just how to love your kid more and more every day, because it is crazy, like the amount of love that you already have for this kid and the amount of love that you're going to. Or if you don't yet, it grows. They'll grow on you. And one day you'll wake up just an accomplished parent, 9 months experience, not to brag or anything. You'll wake up an accomplished parent and realize that that 4 months was like 5 months ago, and that you know what you're doing, and your kid is safe and happy, and they love you, and everything's all right. So you got this.
Yeah. So I don't have any experience in this world yet, but I do want to say thank you, DJ, for sharing, and I think this has been really fun, actually. And yeah, thank you all for listening. If you like to talk to tomatoes, then you might have one in your belly someday. Who knows? Or a baby the size of one.
Little grape tomato.
Thank you to everybody who's been listening with us and hanging out. Thank you. If you're still here, awesome. Thank you for sticking through this. We hope it was informational for you, or at least entertaining. Hopefully both, but one or the other's fine with us. Thank you for being you. If you like this content, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all of that jazz. I think about 20% of the people who watch our videos are subscribed, so we would love it if we could get that number closer to 100, but we know that's probably not possible. Anyways, hit the subscribe button. If you run into the like button in a dark alley, don't let it walk out. Leave on your own. Thank you, Garrett.
Thanks for listening, Garrett. Yeah, well, Gage has told me that I have to thank Adam Ward and Jared Scrother for our intro and outro music, respectively. He didn't say how to do it respectfully, though. So, no. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you guys more than you could ever know. A huge shout out to Orange Cat Always for ceasing to exist, we think. We're pretty sure.
Yeah. Bye. The Instagram page is still accurate. Is active, I mean. The Instagram page is still active, but it's just videos of cats.
If in the future you listen to this episode, go to everythingbutthecats.com/we-sold-out and use the code everythingbutthecats if it lets you. We're holding out for you, Orange Cat Always. We believe in you.
Yeah, you could come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not them, as always, go thank yourselves.
More you know.